probably a pretty sane decision on
Well,
his
we'll be
part.
coming on to a little bit more of that later on in the program. But
So this is what the French minister said. We'll take a look at her Twitter feed here. Roxana Maranchenou, I think I might have pronounced that correctly, hopefully. But here's her Twitter feed. As you can see, she's all about, guess what, Mike? She's all about the vaccines and getting your jab and getting your little check mark there. That's your health pass, the vaccine. So this is what she said. The vaccine pass has been adopted. As soon as the law is promulgated, it will be mandatory to enter public buildings already subject to the health pass, including stadiums, theaters, and or lounge for all spectators, practitioners, French and foreign professionals. So basically she's saying you can't do anything in France unless you get your health pass that says that whether you're healthy or not, if you've had your experimental genetically modified spike protein injections, the government says that you're healthy at that point.
yes,
So this is what Djokovic is up against, and I don't think he's going to change his mind just to play slide on the clay at Roland Garros. I really don't think so. He's probably going to stick to his guns. So it's a big hit to take for him. At the peak of his career, was going to break the record for most Grand Slam titles. He's probably losing, between 5 or 6 million just in the space of these two tournaments.
sure.
So it's incredible.
Now, the French saying the vaccination pass has been adopted. In the UK, Boris on Wednesday saying we're going back to plan A and the vaccine passport will go with it. That is a short-term decision. This is internal Tory party politics and comes back to Steve Baker in a sense, because that group within the Tory party that is pro-liberty have won that argument in the meantime.
And Wales is really backpedaling now. They'll be out of their sort of restriction regime like in a couple of weeks, right?
Right.
And that's going to leave, who's going to be the odd man out?
Well, Scotland, of course.
It's going to be Scotland and Northern Ireland. We'll get on to Northern Ireland in a
A little
bit.
later, but it's a short-term thing. It will be back, and so we'll keep an eye on this, and everybody needs to keep an eye on it and make sure that the campaigns don't stop because there's a sudden assumption that it's over. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, now if you like what the UK Column does and you would like to support us, then please head over to ukcolumn.org/community. And if you're watching the program for free, we do need your financial support, and you're absolutely welcome to join us, and it would be much appreciated. Please also share any material on the various platforms. And as usual, we'll just mention if you would like to support us on the shop as well, that would be much appreciated too. Now, on Sunday, Children's Health Defence Europe is holding a press conference at the Press Club in Brussels. There's a live stream of that at childrenshealthdefence.eu/livestream. It will probably be live streamed on the UK Column website as well, and also on 21st Century Wire too. Well, let's see, what are they saying? They're saying in the framework of the Citizens Rally in Brussels, organised on the 23rd January by the Europeans United International, Children's Health Defence Europe is pleased to invite you to a meeting with several speakers, including concerned by the current policy turn and the future that awaits our young generation. So they've got Mary Holland, Catherine Austin-Fitz, Vera Sharav on the first panel looking at the global outlook. They've got a second panel talking about legal situation and what's going on with legal efforts in various countries. Panel 3 is looking at medical considerations, includes Dr. Christian Perron, who we've interviewed on UK Column, and various others. And there's a fourth panel on social political landscape with a group of MEPs, and I think there are 7 or 8 panels altogether. It's going to be an interesting event. So that starts at 10 o'clock CET, so that'll be 9 UK time, and you can watch that at that URL. And then later on the same day, we have the 1 Million One Team March. This is a March for Freedom, Democracy and Human Rights. Europeansunited.eu. That's going to be in Brussels as well, so that's going to be that is also going to be live streamed, I believe. So that's going to be an interesting event. But on Saturday, then the day before this, in London, and cities across the UK, and I think there's something going on
Locally in
locally,
Totnes,
Totnes.
maybe Plymouth as well, I'm not sure.
Worldwide Rally for Freedom, mass non-compliance. Details on screen at the moment. You can find the details on the Stand Up X website, for example. So we hope as many people as possible attend those. Now, somebody that was a guest on the recent COVID for Doctors, Doctors for COVID Ethics, symposium that we hosted was this lady. The headline here from MedPage today: main physician suspended for COVID misinformation. Licensing agency says Meryl Nass must undergo neuropsych exam for her claims about COVID vaccine. And so what are they saying? And this article is saying the main board of licensing on Wednesday ordered the immediate suspension of the license of a physician accused of spreading false COVID-19 information, and in a separate order on Tuesday ordered her to undergo a neuropsychological evaluation by a board-selected psychologist. The information received by the board, this is the quote on one of the orders, the information received by the board demonstrates that Dr. Nass is or may be unable to practice medicine with reasonable skill and safety by her patients by reason of mental illness, alcohol intemperance, excessive use of drugs, narcotics, or as a result of mental or physical condition interfering with the competent practice of medicine. So that's a pretty despicable attack on someone who, anytime I've heard her speak, is absolutely clear, rational, and clearly knows what she's talking about.
It is definitely malicious, and it's designed to defame and to basically libel her as a professional, as a medical professional. The goal here is to obviously have her license stripped, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, absolutely. It goes on to say Nass believes that article goes on to say Nass believes the federal government's urging that all eligible individuals receive COVID vaccinations, quotes, doesn't make scientific or medical sense, and that federal officials have been trying to justify vaccine passports to mediate your financial transactions and will identify where you are at any time. The orders go on to say, well, we'll just make the point that, of course, Thomas Binder, who has also been a guest on the Doctors for COVID Ethics symposiums, also had to go through this. And in fact, I understand that he's only just out from under the psychological evaluation regime in the last month or so. And Dr. Sam White, of course, also was threatened with this as well. But this is a pretty despicable direction to go in.
They're going after her. Meryl Nass is a brilliant medical investigator, and her resume is unbelievable. And it goes right back 30 years.
Yes.
Okay, so she's worked on the highest levels, liaising with the U.S. government, U.S. military, worked on the anthrax vaccine and helping veterans who had suffered adverse reactions from things like this, and worked in a legal setting as well. I mean, she knows her subject area probably as good as anybody in the world. And the fact that they're going after her says one thing: they are scared of people like this who are using their talents and their skills to help people during this time of crisis, and working with people like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Children's Health Defense. Children's Health Defense have a fantastic team of professionals, and they're doing amazing work. The stuff that they're coming up with, they're publishing, is fantastic day in and day out. And this has really, really bruised the establishment, because they have incredible people. So their credibility and the quality of their content is excellent.
So let's put that back on screen for 1 second, because I just want to pull another little quote out of this article. It says, Nass acknowledged that she believes hydroxychloroquine, which has been shown to be ineffective against COVID, does in fact work. But the government requires patients to sign consent forms for its use that are designed to scare patients from using a safe drug that works very well for COVID by making false claims. So that was what she was saying about the government's coverage of this. But that first sentence, Nass acknowledged that she believes hydroxychloroquine, which has been shown to be ineffective against COVID. Has it? Has it really been shown to be ineffective against COVID? Well, the only proper trial for that drug was the recovery trial. If you want to know about that, then get on the UK Column website and have a look at this article by Ian Davis called The Hydroxychloroquine Scandal. And I just want to take a quote out of this, because this was the main